Welcome to Frederik Today, the podcast for founders, startup leaders, and entrepreneurs, where we discuss the tough decisions no one really prepares you for. I'm Frederik van Leerde, and today we're tackling a question every founder wrestles with. How much money should you really pay yourself? This episode is more than just numbers on a spreadsheet. We're talking about balance, how to cover your personal needs, reinvest in your business, and, most importantly, avoid burnout. Stick with me. Or if you're short on time, check the episode description to jump to the sections that matter most to you. We've packed this with actionable insights you can use today. Let's face it, being a founder means juggling priorities. You've got limited resources, and every decision feels like a trade-off. Pay yourself too little, you risk burnout. Pay yourself too much, you might starve the business of growth. Here's the truth. Paying yourself isn't about selfishness or sacrifice. It's about sustainability. A healthy founder leads a healthy company. Start with a mindset shift. Treat your salary as an investment in your stability, not a luxury. If you're stable, you'll make better decisions and inspire confidence in your team and investors. In the early days of a startup, most founders default to paying themselves very little or nothing. That's understandable. You're trying to stretch every penny. But here's what you need to remember. You have basic living costs. Skipping a salary entirely creates long-term stress that drains your focus. You can't lead effectively if you're worried about paying rent. Calculate your personal bare minimum to survive. Think essentials: housing, food, and utilities. This is your baseline salary. Build it into your budget, even if it's modest. Once revenue starts coming in, you'll face a big decision. Do I pay myself, or do I put every cent back into the business? Here's the thing, both are necessary. Reinvesting drives growth, but skipping your salary altogether isn't a sustainable strategy. Burned out founders make poor choices, and that slows down the company anyway. Follow this simple rule of thumb. Allocate 50% of profits toward reinvestment, e.g., product development, marketing. Use 20 to 30% for your salary and key team members. Set aside the rest as a cash buffer to keep your business stable. It's not perfect science, but it gives you a healthy balance of growth, sustainability, and stability. Let's talk about the hidden cost of paying yourself too little. First, there's burnout. Working for free sounds noble until you hit a wall. Your energy, focus, and creativity drop. Your company needs you at your best, mentally and physically. Second, it sends a message. If you're undervaluing yourself, how can you convince investors or your team that the company is thriving? It doesn't inspire confidence. If you're struggling to justify a salary, think of it this way. You're not taking money from the business, you're ensuring you have the energy to keep building it. I know what you're thinking. What's normal? What are other founders doing? Here are some practical benchmarks. In the pre-seed stage, founders typically pay themselves between $0 and $50,000, enough for essentials. By Series A, salaries usually range from $70,000 to $120,000, depending on cash flow and team size. Founders of growing, profitable businesses often aim for salaries around 10 to 15% of their revenue. Tie your salary to milestones when you hit profitability, a new funding round, or a revenue target. Gradually increasing your salary as your business grows keeps you aligned with progress. Let's get practical. When do you actually increase your salary? The answer is simple. When your business can handle it. Here are your signs. 1. You've got steady revenue and cash flow. 2. Your core team is paid fairly. 3. You've hit key milestones like growth or profitability. Review your salary every 6 to 12 months. Schedule this alongside your business strategy review so it becomes a routine check-in. Before we wrap up, I want to drive this point home. You can't lead if you're running on empty. Founders often sacrifice their well-being for growth, but a burned-out founder is a liability to the business. Take care of yourself. Paying yourself fairly is part of that. If you're hesitant to take a salary increase, try this small shift. Reinvest in things that reduce stress, like hiring help, tools to save time, or personal self-care. Here's the bottom line. Don't confuse sacrifice with success. Paying yourself doesn't mean you're neglecting the business. It means you're creating a foundation for long-term growth. Be intentional, find balance, and adjust as you go. It's a marathon, not a sprint. That's it for today's episode of Frederik Today. I hope you're walking away with clarity and some practical steps you can take right now. Don't forget to check the description to jump between sections if you need a refresher, or share this episode with someone who needs it. I'm Frederik van Leerde. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next one.